Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's another fine episode of the Shitz and Giggles podcast. I am your host, the Toothless Terror, Jack Childress. These are my friends. That's the incomparable Kathy Jo Lynn. Everybody knows her. Everybody loves her. Can't replace her. And she's got her Christmas spirit already turned up to 100. Our guest this week is also a damn good friend of ours, Jeanie Frederick Lewis. Jeanie, how are things in your world today?
Oh, things are going good. Very good. Ready for Christmas to be over with.
Ha! So we got two opposite ends of the spectrum there, with Kathy being all, waist deep in it, and you're just like, can we just get this over with already? And late to the show, here comes Aiden
Yep.
Collier. What is up, brother man?
Hello. Yeah, sorry, there was a queue in the shop. But yeah, I'm good. Is this what we think of Christmas? Yeah, it's mixed bag for me.
Yeah, me, I just avoid it like the plague as best I can. You know how it goes. Jeanie, let's get going on this now. When we first met, this goes way back in the hot tub time machine. Neither one of us had ever really written anything, done much of nothing, and you'd always, you talked about wanting to, and got to meet Javin. Was one of our heroes, R.I.P. And since then, you have kind of, shall we say, erupted. I mean, it's like you're just firing stuff out there now, and it's impressive. I recently got to listen to Spiritualist versus Voodoo. Freaking fantastic, absolutely just chilling. But I do want to know something.
Okay.
Did you have an actual life experience involving a paneling wall where there was something in it that just freaked you the hell out? Because that people don't just make that up. That don't just come out of nowhere. So how did you come up with that idea for that specific thing?
Absolutely. When I was growing up, we lived in a trailer house, and there was a piece of paneling in the bathroom, and the knot looked just like the devil to me, and it would scare the living tar out of me. And my imagination would go on and on and on. And then as I grew up, I noticed with different places, I noticed the paneling and the knots. And here where I live at the moment, in my family home, in the shower, there is actually a lady in the paneling. If you look up into the shower, you can see her silhouette, her hair, her nose, her mouth. It's like a side view of her. And I spent that whole time as a child with the fear of this, and now I fear absolutely nothing. So I thought, how could I turn that fear into something? And so that's where the lady in the paneling came from.
Well,
It's a great concept.
It is, and I mean, if you got to check that book out, dude. Because I'm telling you, it's chilling. When she really gets to breaking it down as to what it is and why it is, and what I really like about that particular story is how you're able to blend the past and the present just so seamlessly, where it all what's happening now, you tell a little background on it, and it just all works. How much time did you spend plotting that out?
I would say probably about 4 months for that one, because the story was already there. I just had to kind of put it together and figure out how I wanted to tell it. But I started off as I was going to focus more on the voodoo, and my main character was going to be probably the voodoo priestess Lucy Freeman. But as I went on, I realized I don't really want to focus on that. I wanted to move it into kind of a different territory, and that's where Isabel came in, and she became our heroine. And not so much, she believed more in God than all the other facets of religion.
Did you ever watch I think it was on Netflix. It was not House on the Haunted Hill. It was something like that. It was something about a house, and they did each episode was from a different character's perspective, where you learned more of the story, but you'd watch an episode and go, well, what happens with that? And then the next episode had a bit of that. So it sounds very similar to the way that you've written this as well. I just thought that's what instantly came to mind with that as well, especially with the hidden woman thing as well, because it has an element of that in it, which is incredibly scary. I get scared very easily, I will admit.
Well, now, if everybody's going to check this out, I will, I'm not a big fan of trigger warnings, but just in case, trigger warning, there is some pretty sensitive subject matter touched on in this story. I mean, kind of ooh, you know, like that kind of thing, but it fits. It makes the story that much more powerful, in my opinion. You know how
Yeah.
I feel about it.
Yeah,
It's
it was
like
very hard to write. There's a rape scene in there with a child, and that was very hard for me to put myself in that perspective and try to not get repulsed every time I wrote it.
That would be a hard
Yeah,
scene to write. So yeah.
yeah,
So now,
yeah.
how many of these?
But with that book, yeah,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
with that book came, well, 4 more at the moment. We had the Voodoo, and then we went to the vampire, because of course you can't have New Orleans without a vampire.
Right.
And then this kind of just tells our little love story of our 2 vampires, kind of like an in between. I did a 2.0 kind of thing. And then this one is the werewolf one, which just came out. And yeah, and this one is going to go into kind of a hybrid type situation where we kind of have a breed of werewolf and vampire. And so that's kind
I
of where
like
that book
him.
all took off and went. I wasn't expecting it to be, that far into that perspective, but it's like once I just starting out and all these creatures. We have Rougarous in there, we have skinwalkers in there, we have all kinds of scary beasts in there.
Well, I
Cool.
mean, a vampire werewolf hybrid, that's not terrifying.
I like him, can be. They're ugly.
I don't know if you.
Well, mine's not ugly though. He's hot.
Oh,
Yeah, that's like the
that's
going
my
underworld.
kind of that's my kind of book then, because
Well, now the first book, there's a little bit of spicy in it. That's
oh well, see, because I do like some supernatural romances where they've either got a vampire or the werewolves or stuff like that, and man, some descriptions of some of these werewolves, they sound just absolutely gorgeous. And see, Ward Passionflix picked up her series of the Black Dagger Brotherhood, and they nailed them guys perfectly. And it's like, oh my God, So yeah, and I mean, I love it when they follow things like with True Blood. They didn't follow the book. No, didn't follow it. So that's important. If they take a book and put it on TV or say Netflix or anything like that, they need to follow details in the book because that's not right. You wrote it.
The author's vision.
That's what's supposed to be there. This is what the reader knows. You go to changing that, then you've totally took the whole concept and ruined it. And that's not the way that should be.
It was quite a famous YA one where they did that, and I'd read the books before watching it, and they dropped out a couple of scenes like they have to when they're making films. But the scene they decided to drop was really important for the story, and they ended up adding 3 scenes to the end of the film just to get this character back in. And like, if you'd have just put that one scene in earlier, then it would have worked. So yeah, you're exactly correct on this. You follow what is written because the author has done their research, about 4 months of it at least.
Yeah, I mean, like she was saying, it's 4 months just for a scene, for just a certain part of the story. So,
oh yes,
you take for that length of time to do the writing, then they need to respect that.
That's right.
And even readers, when you're reading a story, and yes, there might be some things in there that might upset you, but you've got to think what that writer went through putting that scene in there. They might not have been comfortable, but it pertained to something that happened in the story or lead you to something in further down in the story that needed to be there.
Isn't it Last House on the Left or one of them that has that quite horrific rape scene in it? That if it wasn't in there, the story wouldn't make sense. So it had to be in there, but it's an incredibly difficult watch. So imagining it's the feelings that you get watching that was that. I presume that's what you were saying when you were writing the scene. That's. Do you struggle? Did you have to stop partway through and come back, or? So I know I've done that a couple of times.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yes. Well, you know, it's kind of like when you're watching something, you just turn your head and then let it be over with. And that's what I wanted to do. But of course, I had to write that scene to get to where I was going with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to tell you, Catherine, if you do like spice, each one of my spiritualist books gets spicier as it goes. And,
by the way, got a bone to pick with you about that.
Oh.
I tend to listen to most of my audiobooks.
Wrong phrasing, Jack. Wrong phrasing.
You know, but I listen to a lot of audiobooks while I'm at work, and some of those spicy scenes manage to find a way to happen while there were people around. And so
every single time.
I couldn't get to the pause button fast enough. Like, whoa, stop. Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah. Well, and once I got a taste of, you know, kind of, I wanted to go in different areas. I did the zombie books. I did those too. And actually, it was funny because when you were talking, a scene in Zephra Elaine, the very first book, took me 2 years to write that book. And there was a scene that I had in that book that I thought of at the very beginning. And for 2 years, I played that scene till I finally got to write it in the spot in the book where it needed to be. It was like, it drove me. But as I started writing a little bit more, I wanted to kind of broaden. So I did do a few of the ones that are kind of going into the little spicy, smutty kind of things. And that's where this one kind of came from, Ink and Steel. It's
a lovely cover.
Oh, thank you. It is it deals with an author. Actually, Aiden, you're in that book.
Oh.
Yeah. Do I get murdered and is it brutal? Are the two questions we always have to ask.
No, I didn't kill you. And what it is it's a story about Jay, and she writes erotica, and she's an author, and she has a bunch of indie author friends, and she ends up winning the lottery. It's $310 million, and she moves all of her close. Yeah, she moves all of her close author friends to Montana, and she puts them in cabins in the woods so that they can have peace to write. And they bought a ghost town and they reconstructed it. And of course, Aiden, you do all the archaeology stuff that goes with the mix.
Awesome. And, yes, I was just thinking that's what I'd be doing.
Yes, and it's a lot of fun. And then she ends up getting a stalker, and so you know she has to figure out, all her friends and her have to figure out who the stalker is, and they have to take care of it. But the second book, I really went into it, and the stalker that's stalking her that time is actually a killer, so I had to throw some blood in there. For some reason, I start off all end up blood and guts, and I don't know why, in almost every book.
it's I found that writing some things that you're like, oh, I think I know where this storyline's going, and it's going to be sort of, it's a run-of-the-mill sort of like minus, and then it just takes over. You're like, well, then that happened. Now I have to write myself out of this and try and make it into the thing as well. Do you find that quite often when you're writing as well?
Yes, I start thinking I'm going to do it one way, and by the time I'm finished, it was nothing like what I initially thought I was going to do.
I just wish I could get started. I can't seem to, my thoughts can't get to paper. They're there. They just can't land, you know. And then if they land, it don't make sense.
A long time, girl.
I mean, to keep in mind, Kathy, is that first draft that you write, it's supposed to look screwed up because I mean it's just the random generated thoughts on the page.
Oh my God! I mean, because it's like it's all over the place, and it's like that doesn't make sense. That's just not that. And then I get discouraged, I guess you could say, because it's not making sense to me, and it's like, you know, and then you don't want to do it, you know, because you've done.
My hard drive's filled with books like that. It's like one of the tips that I did get that I used, and it's where the first book I actually put on Amazon came from, was getting your characters to talk to each other. So this is the thing that we were saying about how characters suddenly create a life of their own and create things. It was a writing exercise in people talking to each other. I had a big problem with actually writing and making it feel natural when people were talking. So I thought, I'll do this. It became a sci-fi noir that it's very, very weird. But that might be something to try. Just grab two characters that are in your head and just make them have a conversation and just write down the conversation that's happening in your head and then read back through it. Because naturally, when you look at the conversation, it's very easy to go, well, that just sounds weird. So you'll be able to reword those words. And then you've got a whole bunch of words on a page, and then it's much easier to write when you've got words. It's what's that quote about blank pages? About if you've got a blank page, it's very difficult. I can't remember. Jack, you should know this one. You've said it to me so many times.
I know. But,
throw him under a bus. Throw him under the bus.
It's kind of a glorified version of paralysis by analysis. You know, if you stare at that blank page and you're just giving yourself grief because you can't get words on it. Well, you're never going to get words on it because you're locking yourself up. Versus like what has happened to Jeanie over here, who finally got down and started doing it, and well, you just saw the freaking parade of books she just flashed in front of
right.
You know, I mean, it just comes. Well, let's jump all the way back to your very first book, Zephra Elaine. That one I know is real, you know, close to your heart because of your main characters in that. Give us a little background on that particular book.
Well, it deals with Zephra Elaine, who is actually my mother, and she was a science teacher. And so growing up, everything in our home was a science project. It didn't matter what it was a science project. You know, you make tea in a brewer. Well, hold on, that's density. Let's talk about it. You know, that was just how things were. So I wanted to do something in honor of her. So she is my main character, but I did, of course, put my dad in there, and he's in a wheelchair, was in a wheelchair. So I went with that actual thing, keeping everybody kind of like the real person. Yes. And it just kind of took off from there. And it's about a whole group of all of my friends, and they're all real people in there. Every character in there is somebody that I know. And they all meet and they head toward the castle, and they try to get, you know, through the apocalypse. And of course you have all the bad guys, and of course Jack is the bad guy, because why not? He's got to be the bad guy. But I wanted it to be something where it wasn't a normal type of situation. It was more like regular people. That's why one of my characters doesn't have a leg, and of course we make him a gun leg.
Of course, yeah. We've got to get that in there.
You got to have a gun. Yeah. And you know, but they're all normal people just turning into kind of warriors. And I had a lot of fun with it. It took a really long time for the first one. The second one was super fast. But I knew where I wanted it to go, and once I got going, that was it. I took off.
All right, so how far into the first book were you when you had that epiphany, that moment where you went, holy shit, I'm going to finish this. This is actually going to fucking happen. How far along were you?
Whew. I was way into it. I really never thought I was actually ever going to finish. I never could get things to work out the right way. And I brought my phone with me everywhere, and I wrote on my phone a lot of times because I spent a lot of time in the hospital. And, you know, I just kept at it. But once I finally, I guess almost maybe a fourth of it left, I finally felt this point where it was like, okay, I'm going to finish this. If it kills me, I'm going to finish this. And I could hear, of course, Javin in the background going, bitch, what are you doing? Get up there and do that shit right now. You know, quit screwing around. When he wouldn't say screwing, but anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And, it may have been way more colorful than that.
Oh, yes. Yes. So I just kept playing that in my mind after he was gone, and it finally just clicked.
Well,
And then all of a sudden, I had all these stories in my head.
let me ask you, because you being a writer, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Describe that feeling the moment it hit you in your words. What did it feel like?
Oh, an outer body experience.
Damn good words there, writer.
I mean,
Out of body experience.
Yeah, I would say it was like I was looking back, going, "Oh shit, that's you," But it was
So, did
cool.
you get the repeat of that when you received your, when you get the proof copy from Amazon and then you see it physically got in your hands, you get that repeat? Did you get that? Yeah, because that is an amazing feeling, and you described it perfectly. It's very bizarre.
Yes, it is, and it doesn't go away. With each one, it continues and continues to be just as exciting as the first one. Except everybody looks at me now and goes, "Oh, you wrote another book," and I'm like, "Here I am jumping around and acting like I got a tutu on, and I'm a unicorn freaking out," and they're like,
It has sprinkles that come out of it.
Yes, well, I poop rainbows, of course,
Damn it. All right. Random question time. So, you being down in Louisiana, me being from Tennessee, if I were to come down there, knowing up front I don't eat any seafood other than whitefish or catfish, what would be the Cajun dish you would introduce me to that does not contain any, seafood, but would still be a very Cajun dish?
Oh, well, that's just wrong.
They're gross.
You're looking at somebody that's a shrimper, so I would have to fix you a shrimp dish, and if you don't eat it, but I think you would eat mine.
They all got that oceany fish taste.
No, mine do not.
That's kind of the point.
Mine are actually fresh from the water. They don't have all them nasty.
Shrimp doesn't have a taste, really. You add flavor to shrimp.
Yep.
Like shrimp etouffee is the bomb.
Okay, so we're going to assume then that I'm going to try the shrimp. What specific dish would you be serving?
Oh, I would fry you some shrimp, son. You would have to eat some fried shrimp. But like she said, I could see an etouffee probably thrown in there too.
Yeah, what is in an etouffee?
It depends on the person making it. I use a little bit of tomato sauce and creams and stuff to do it. Other people do it differently. It just depends.
Is it a bit like a more local Thousand Island dressing type of concept?
Not really.
Gravy,
I
more
don't have
or
dairy,
less.
so it confuses me.
I mean, there are a lot of gravy.
Gravy.
Yeah, a gravy.
Yeah, it's like gravy over rice.
I can't eat rice.
What do you mean you can't eat rice?
He don't like rice.
No, that and I don't have teeth. I can't chew them up. I learned that the hard way. If you swallow rice whole, guess what they do in your stomach?
Yeah, but just cook it for longer.
Pasta, it can be done over pasta. Etouffee can be a pasta too.
Yeah, I can do it that way. Now the problem with rice is it's so small I can't close my mouth enough to actually mash them. So,
to be fair, I had that problem when I didn't have nerves in my jaw. So it's like I kind of get where you're coming from there.
Now
I spent a year very confused about eating.
A good one for Jack would also be a gumbo.
See, I like a gumbo with the andouille sausage and some chicken. That's not too shabby there. I can get down with that.
Yeah, right, and you don't need rice for that because we put our potato salad in that.
Yeah, and then red beans and rice is awesome.
Yeah, I miss that so bad.
I mean,
Cajun, over here.
Cajun food, I love. I worked for Copeland's here when it was in Rivergate. And it came from New Orleans, Copeland's in New Orleans. And man, the shrimp ducky, the etouffees, everything was just, oh my God. I loved working there. I could eat something different every day and was happy as a clown. And lost weight too.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but you eating Cajun food, you can lose weight. And it's rice and pasta. But
Well,
gator,
Jack will
oh my
certainly lose weight
God,
in rice.
give me a good gator dish. Oh my God.
I've never eaten gator. Like, what does it actually taste like? Is it? I've heard. So, for example, I've known people that have eaten pike because that's a thing that occasionally happens over
It's
here.
a white
They said it's
meat.
like a meaty fish. Is it a similar thing?
It's a white meat.
But it's kind of rubbery.
No, it's not really rubbery to me. It kind of reminds me of lobster.
I've never actually had lobster either.
Oh man.
It's posh food over here.
Some people say chicken.
I don't eat it. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I hear chicken, but I don't eat any of that really. I'm not really as Cajun as everybody wants me to be. So I don't eat crawfish. None of that.
She just wrestles them and drags them to the truck so everybody else can eat them.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh yeah,
So-
it's nothing for us to have a gator in the yard in the summertime, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, knocking
So
on your
let's-
door saying, "Hey, let me in."
Yeah, trying to get in the swimming pool.
So let's combine this with the apocalypse stories, people trying to survive. So if you had different foods from different areas, how do you combine them? So, for example, let's just take a classic British dish of, say, a standard British roast dinner. How would you make that Cajun? So you've got the people there, you've got British people in your post-apocalyptic society, but you're in an area that does Cajun cooking, and someone wants that, but all you've got is Cajun food. How would you do that?
Oh, I'd probably cook it the exact same way that I would any other day. I would do all of the seasonings, or what we actually call the Holy Trinity, which is your onions, your bell pepper, and everything in there. And look, he's got a bag.
Someone's prepared.
And I would just cook my roast just like I normally would, and make a good old brown gravy, and then I'd have lots of vegetables and stuff on the side.
Please tell me you can get a fork to stand up in that gravy, because it's not gravy unless the fork stands up.
Look, she's got seasonings.
My bestie, his mama brought him back for me from Louisiana this last trip. So yes.
Yep.
Well,
Do you know she was only 30 minutes away from me?
Oh man, was she?
Yeah.
Then you really are in the middle of nowhere.
You got it, bub. In
Well,
the
now,
middle of nowhere.
Just a heads up, and I know for the viewers at home right now, they're just like, really, we don't care. But I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm supposed to be making that trip down with Mom next Thanksgiving. So somehow, some way over them, I guess, 10 days that we're supposed to be down there, we got to hook up.
Me and Robin.
Cajun
When I-
Thanksgiving dinner for Jack.
When
And make him eat some shrimp.
in May, I get to see Robin and possibly Lee because I'll be in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Yeah, doing the Heathen Viking Festival. So yeah.
I wish I had the money to come with you.
Get back one of them hats with the horns. I need.
I'm not. That won't be me. That would be the hubby. But I'm doing the traditional Viking female braids. I found it's a hairpiece, but it's going to have the long silver braids and stuff. And I'm
the
looking
whole
at outfits
tresses thing going on, where you get the braids that go back round and then
and come down. Yeah.
I've attempted a few times. I have long hair.
Well, I'm excited because I'm going to be the only vendor with the stuff I have, and my labels are going to all be in Nordic symbols for the item that it is. So
yes,
I'm trying to go with the theme of the festival. So salsa is going to be in Nordic.
Okay, I'm going to piggyback off that real quick.
This leads to quite an interesting question. So you said before about your books, you've gone from into vampires, into werewolves and things. And one of the things with vampires is you get the Drauga, which are where some of the original vampire myths come from. They could never be killed, but they had to be held down under bogs with hawthorn through the heart, which is where that mythology comes from. Have you thought about expanding outwards apart from sort of like so vampires, werewolves, and zombies and things like that tend to be common culture? Have you thought about delving deeper into some other things? Because you did mention some other cryptids that you've brought up in your books. Have you thought about writing another book introducing a bit more of a story with those?
Yeah, actually, well, I did this one right here, and it deals with, of course, our Sasquatch and a killer shrimp. And
Watch and
That's
see,
a Jack
and
book
you're,
if ever I
you're
heard
wanting
one.
me to eat shrimp.
Yeah, it's becoming a thing, Jack. You're just gonna have to give in.
There are giant shrimp. I mean, there are some that are huge.
yeah,
I
there
Believe it or
actually
not.
are killer shrimp too. There is a shrimp that carries a bacteria that actually will kill you if you eat it.
Yeah.
And she's
But
trying to feed me shrimp.
oh, dude, stop.
But that's normal shrimp.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
mean,
no, I actually am going into another thing that I've been researching. I'm writing a book about guardian angels.
Oh, yeah. Like both of us
some
same
All
time.
of this
that I've
Ooh.
had.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I want to know:
Yeah.
is it going to be a comedy, like the poor angel is following this person around and just going, "Oh my god"? And
Oh, what's the film? Dogma. It's like I'm thinking Dogma right now.
my poor guardian angel's always going, Jesus Christ Almighty,
well, I'll
what's
tell
she
you
doing
what,
now?
I think 3 out of the 4 of us will get this reference, but the George Burns movies, Oh God,
Yes.
and of
Yeah.
course, Oh God, You Devil Part 2, you know,
Mhm.
those.
Yeah.
I'm seeing something like
You were
that.
correct on the 3 out of 4.
Dude, you need to go find the George Burns Oh God movies. There's 2 of them. John Denver's in them. You know,
Yeah.
the singer.
See, weirdly, it rings a bell. I may have watched them when I was quite young.
Yeah, you would have had to have been quite young because they're quite old.
Yeah, because I
used
was
to watch films in
young.
black and white when I was young.
I was like
barely
in my
watched colour films.
teens. I was in my teens, and I'm 54. So, you know.
Yeah, way back.
Yeah, because George Byrne died at what, 100?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah.
can all hope that we get that long. More books if you're that alive that long.
Right, Jeanie, I want to keep kind of piggybacking off the cryptid thing right now, because I'm doing this to every author that I can get within shouting distance of me. I want a really good Pukwudgie story, and I'm still waiting. No one's given me one yet. Have you thought about the Pukwudgie? Or if
What
you
is that?
What the hell is a Pukwudgie?
They are.
Even I haven't heard of this.
They're like yay tall. They're like dwarves, like little people, and they're really mischievous, and they like to mess with kids that are acting bad. There's more to them than just that, but that's just kind of the general of them. They are.
I'd have managed that.
They're little nuisances. They're not so much they'll kill you, but they could cause you to die, kind of a thing. But now you have homework. Ha You have homework.
This is right. So this is very similar to the original Celtic and Scandinavian myths about dwarfs and fairies and fae kind in general. It sounds like that type of thing. So whereabouts is it from? Is it localized into an area? I'm assuming.
I want to say it's more like Eastern U.S. is kind of where they're more prominent, northeastern, that kind of area. But if you look them up, it's P-U-K and then Wedgie, W-E-D-G-I-E, Pukwudgie. And it's, I don't know why I'm so fascinated with them. I want somebody to write.
Because you're mischievous.
You just want to know what it's like being short, like me.
No, he's tall. I'm short. He's tall.
Yeah.
Who's tall?
Yeah, so I say that's what I was saying. It's
you're taller
it's
than
like
I
to
am.
be like us. I'll tell you, I'm to be fair, I'm not that short. I'm just
let's
short
go
in general.
Bonus random question. Everybody give their heights. I am 5'9.5". And
5'2".
5'4".
Aiden.
I'm half an inch shorter than Jack. Jack, seriously, I thought you were 6 foot tall.
I'm the shortest. I'm only 5'2". I am 5'2".
How am I the tallest person in the room? That makes no sense to me.
If I stand up straight with boots on, I'm the same height as you.
Good Lord.
I damaged my spine. All right, I lost half an inch.
Makes no sense. Anyway, Jeanie, going back to when, early on at the first of the show that has completely gone off the rails, as I expected.
Yeah, it's because I'm here.
What advice would you give to somebody like Kathy that wants to start writing? And in Kathy's case, it's not so much, to me, I don't think she's intimidated by it. I just think she's having a hard time getting her scrambled eggs to come back together again.
Right, yeah.
Coherent. But for someone who really wants to write, but they're just scared of doing it, what advice would you give them besides the old, just write it?
You have to find your niche. You have to find the one thing that makes you so interested you can't stop.
As they say, write what you know.
If it's a certain type, yes. And I research everything. Oh my God, I get so sick of researching. But if you really, really have that one thing that you can't get out of your mind, it kind of becomes fun. And that's where it goes. But try different things. Try writing. Try writing on a, your phone or your laptop or your computer. But also maybe try talking into a recording and see if that would help. There are different ways you can go about trying to figure out the best way for you. And once you find it, it'll get better. But nothing that you do at first is going to make any sense at all.
My son told me I needed to write a biography.
It's like, don't really
that'd probably be a top seller. My life story would be a bestseller. I'm like, nobody wants to know about my life story. Yeah. So.
That could be a good start, even if you don't publish, from the advice that Jeanie's giving you. And as Jack said, it's write what you know. And it's one of those things that I found that if I want to write a book, I don't write that book. I start by writing something else, because that gets me into the writing. And as Jeanie said, once you start and you got the idea, you go for it as well. So it might be an idea of just play around with that, write a little bit, and then when you get the idea, switch over to the book you want to write as well, and then follow what Jeanie just said, because that's fantastic advice. So Jeanie, you did mention about like writing on your phone. I found that a massive issue. I used to try and take notes on my phone, and then ended up putting notebooks in my pockets and using a pencil, because I'm a bit old school when it comes to things like that. But do you find that there's these days there's a lot more digital ways of us doing those? Do you use any more than writing on your phone, or obviously writing on the computer to do the things? But do you find there's other methods?
Oh no, I'm the carry the notebook girl.
There you go.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I have notepads everywhere.
My one from Egypt.
Yeah. I write everything down.
Oh yes, I have them. Yep, I have them in the car. I have them in my purse. Everywhere I'm at, I have a notebook, because sometimes weird things pop into my head.
Okay, where has been the strangest or most unexpected place you have found yourself checking out momentarily to sit and either write notes or write down something that's in your head?
That literally, Jack, that was what I was about to ask. I want to know the answer to this as well.
Well, I've done it just about everywhere, but I think that what baffles me is if I'm in the middle of writing and I get stuck, I go take a shower.
Really?
Yes. I've done this. It is fantastic. I don't know why it works, but it does, doesn't it?
Yes. I can solve the world's problems in the shower.
The cleansing shower.
That's right. I don't know what it does, but it's like I can think so much better.
Right. It's a scary story here. So my undergraduate dissertation, I didn't like how it was written, so I just Control A, pressed delete, and then I went and had a shower, and I came back and I rewrote the entire thing in 3 hours. It's like if it's in the head, it'll work. And it was the shower thing. And it worked. And I got a good mark for that one. It's like, I must admit, I did that like 4 times. And I showered a lot back then, more than I should have done. But yeah, it's big. One of the other ones that I've done is it's a bit crazy, that you keep a notebook by the bed, and sometimes you have weird ass dreams. If you wake up in the night, grab the notebook and write it down before you forget, because everyone forgets their dreams, right? Write down, like, read them back. They're mental. You will never write that thing as a story, but it will give you ideas, and you'll look back at it and go, oh, so this is why I go to the doctors and get tablets. All right, cool. Yeah. But it's fantastic because that's your brain working. You can see your brain working and doing that, which gives you those then ideas. So you're saying, like, the shower, you're relaxed and you're doing that. That's always what I thought it was. It's the relaxation that makes it go. But yeah, shower. I'm 100% on the shower thoughts thing.
Okay, first off, I love you guys. I really freaking do. But you're both fucking weird. Just putting it out there. I mean, in the shower, dude. In the shower.
I could have said pooping.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get the soap out of my crack. I mean, come on now. I got a lot going on in there. I'm plotting out a damn book. What's wrong with you?
So I regularly have people that are going, are you okay in there? Would you like to get out of the shower? No, I'm fine. I'm fine in here. The brain's doing things.
Damn.
It's like cooking cookies as well.
Would that be the equivalent of doing your ideas while you're hovering over the toilet and handling things?
Yeah. It's like if you don't have a bottle to read the back of and you forgot your phone in the living room, it's a similar sort of thing. If like you're a relaxed position, the ideas may flow. Hopefully other things are flowing at the same time, but
okay, wait. When you literally are sitting there like reading labels while you're handling business.
Well, if I leave my phone in the living room, of course I am. Or if my phone dies, I've got to read something while I'm on the
breakfast and you're reading off the back of the cereal box. What in the hell's going on? Lysol. It cures.
Well, I don't eat breakfast, and I've got a lot of things in the bathroom. If I don't do that, then I contemplate how I'm going to remodel the bathroom. And I can't do that. I live in social housing, and I still haven't painted over the incident I had with the candle. So, and that was 8 years ago.
I mean, if you don't occupy your brain while you're doing that, you'll be thinking, is somebody wondering why I'm taking so long in here? It's like,
It's not as if you have to pay attention to that. I mean, if you do have to pay attention to that, I'm not like some people do, but it's like, you're not paying attention to anything. That's dead time. Like, use it for a purpose.
Okay, here we go. Okay, train. Clank, back on track. Here we go. Jeanie.
There are 8 people on this one rather than 1.
All right, Jeanie. I need to know this. When you're writing and you stumble onto something that has just got you completely stumped, like you can't continue on from where you're at until you figure this one thing out. Do you ever find yourself like stepping away from it, but still writing in it, but it's something way down the tracks? Train theme.
No, not really.
Really? So you're pretty much locked in on course, and if you have to stop, you stop, and you don't jump ahead and go, well, let me write this other scene. Okay. Well, why is that? You think?
Yeah, I will jump books.
Okay.
If I'm stuck on one book, I will jump to another book because I do have several books always kind of going all the time. But go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, right now, Javin is just fucking happy as hell, right?
Yeah, I do.
But continue on there. Well, actually, hang on. Let me ask you this. I want to jump back to the roast thing because we just threw roast out there in general. We didn't get specific. Favorite one, beef or pork?
Beef.
All right. For the rest of the crew, beef or pork?
Beef.
To be fair, I'm going to be the odd one out. if I'm doing it myself, but I did have beef Wellington last night, so
Ooh.
Fancy
I
ass.
like beef, but beef's quite expensive over here, and I do like crackling. So I'm more of a pork than a beef person as well.
No, I do
Although
like my pork, but
venison Wellington with white pudding with cranberries in. Oh my god, that is the pinnacle. But my only person who can cook that well enough for me to eat it is my mate's mum, and I need to replan my Christmas now. I've said that. I need to go round hers again.
Damn. All right, Jeanie. One of the things that I find so interesting, about, oh, come on, dude, not right now. He's Domino's cleaning something. Anyway,
as long as it isn't on you.
One of the things I find fascinating about writers is y'all are willing to put up with the, let's call it the administrative part of the writing, which is the dealing with Microsoft Word or whatever interface you're using to write your words. Then you got to deal with KDP, and you got to deal with, trying to get someone to print. You got to find a cover artist, and you got. What is the thing you hate the most? And
editing.
the thing you love the most.
I knew that was coming. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be editing. It's gonna be editing. It's gonna be 100%.
Of the administrative things, what is the thing you actually like?
The covers. I love coming up with the covers. Yeah.
So you do those yourself?
No, I do not. I have a friend that does them, and but I normally, I know what I want, and then sometimes I'll play around with AI and get a sort of picture of her to go off of that's in my head, and then she does it the way she just does it.
Now, do you ever
answered the question I was about to ask? So, carry on.
Now, do you ever sketch them out? Kind of doodle on a piece of paper?
No.
You don't? Okay.
Nope.
Oh, the scary thing is you can see the wall is blank behind me. So the wall behind my screen was covered in artwork that I did, and I had to repaint my living room, so I've taken all my artwork down. And I'm feeling a little bit. Now we're talking about covers. I want to do more.
I live in the world of covers. Like
covers, yeah. It's just seeing that behind you, Jack. It's just made me like go.
I live in the world of animals.
My walls are covered in critters. Gray. It's like, and I can also see the point in my coving where I haven't painted it correctly, and it's really pissing me off.
Hot damn, who knew doing the Shitz and Giggles podcast today would trigger freaking Aiden's OCD right about now? It's like,
it's like my OCD is wild.
Seeing his butt, and he's up there with a damn paint roller, while we're trying to wrap the show up.
I can mention this to you. My wife actually has OCD. If I mention that to her, I've got to repaint the entire fucking room. So I'm not mentioning it to her.
Hey, Aiden's wife. The paint fucked up.
Yeah. See, what I've done, Jack, is I put headphones on, closed the living room door and the bedroom door, and made sure that she's got the TV on so she can't hear us. I thought about this. I know how you work, Jack. I've got my belts and braces.
Okay, guys. Kathy, what is a pressing question you would want to ask a awesome published author like her? Like that one question you can't ask me because I'm just kind of a half-ass. Yeah. You got Aiden, he's an archaeologist, but you got Jeanie here, an actual real deal author. What would you ask her?
That's a hard one.
I got to get one in every show.
Because she kind of answered some of it, and it's on the how to get started, but maybe where should I start with? Like, should it be something supernatural or something normal? Like everyday life normal, or something with horror or something. What kind of theme wise should I maybe think about starting with? Yeah,
Well,
because I love horror.
Yeah, basically the genre. Where do you want to go?
It just depends on what you like the most. If you love horror, then go with something that's horror, definitely. You have to go with what you like. But again, there are so many broad things out there that I like. Like right now, Lee and I are working on a book. It's called The Outstanding Misfortunate Escapades of Kevin the Stumbling Zombie. It's been a humdinger. It's lots of fun, but it's, you get to a point where I feel like I'm kind of to the point where, okay, how many things can happen to Kevin before this book finally ends? I don't know.
Yeah, where you get that endless, right, this is going to be a book too.
Yep.
Like they did with The Walking Dead. They made it just endless.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that kind of. So I've got a similar question. When writing, do you have a length that you write to? So to give context, when I write, I look at 80,000 words divided into 40 chapters. So I know a chapter is about 2,000 words. I never stick to it, but that's the base plan so that I know I'm doing it. Do you do something like that where you can divide it up to make it easier?
Yes, I always shoot for 40 and above, and I just kind of go from there. But my goal is always to be above 40. And so that's kind of where I kind of stay. I mean, not a lot of my books are real thick, but a few of them are. The others are kind of thin. But
which then begs the question: what is the longest word count you've had?
Oh, I'd say 50 or 60, somewhere in there. Yeah, I've never made it to 80.
Hey, that's still strong numbers.
It's good. I started out on 60s to 70s when writing. It's a really nice length because you have to be brief when you're writing, especially for, like you're saying, when you write in horror as well. It makes it punchy because you have to then move on. You can't bulk it out. Like when you're writing epic fantasy, obviously you can go into lots of words, or Lit RPG that Jack is really into at the moment with a bit of the Jeff Hayes.
Yeah, roller Carl.
Yeah. Those books can run 200 easy on that as well. But I've found it writing longer that you end up putting filler in as well. Do you ever do that when you're writing?
Yes.
Like, do you put filler in and then end up taking it out when you're, as you say, you hate the editing, when you do the editing, having to take things out? And when you take things out, what do you do with them? Do you do the document thing where you take it out and paste it somewhere else so you can use it later? That's two questions in one.
That's a damn good pair of questions, though.
I do. I take out a lot of things that I kind of repeat, and I get frustrated with it. But when I take it out, it's gone. It goes away. I don't keep it.
That's very brave. I'm not that brave.
Okay, well, I'm gonna throw a question back to you, Aiden. Why is that brave? I mean, if I had a scene where I was writing about a dog pissing on a fence and I took it out because, well, he pissed on the fence earlier, why would I still need to document that when, I mean...
So the thought process behind it is, it's what we were talking about earlier about your just writing from the brain. It's just stuff goes down, your first draft has everything in it. And some of that doesn't fit with the story. But at the point you wrote it, that fit with the story in your head. That made sense. That connects with things. So if you want to, like Jeanie said, where she wrote essentially a 2.0, a sort of a mid-book, that sort of stuff feeds a mid-book or would feed later into the series. If you want slow hooks or side stories, you've got all of this stuff that you wrote originally. So you can paste it back in and then it will completely change and edit. But it's the concept of the thing you're taking out. So when I say that I'm taking stuff out and pasting it, it's not like Jeanie said, the repeated stuff. Like I do the same thing if I've repeated it. Like highlight, delete. Like I've just said this too often. I'm talking about sort of like a paragraph of a thing or a concept, like you said, the dog pissing up. You then move that. Like that had a point in the story, but it doesn't fit with the flow of the thing you're doing. But it fits with that. So if you're going to write a story that might meet it, a concurrent story, so think about, say, occasionally they do this with shows where you'll have the one that I mentioned right at the beginning of the episode, where there are each episode of the show was a different person's perspective. So you saw the same things but from someone else's perspective, and the things that they pick up on. So the person you might write about with that loves dogs. So they're going to notice a dog pissing up something and they might mention something about it. But your main character won't. Therefore, that's why you removed it from the original story. But later on, when you're writing book 2, 3, 4, endless in series, that you then have the option of putting that back in and then writing from that. It's a kernel of information that can just spark an interest.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of the times that's in my notebooks though, so I don't really have to keep those things because they're already in my notebook. But I did for when I was working on the vampire book and went to the 2.0 one, I actually wrote both of those simultaneously, so that one of them I was able to go into detail with to the two characters, and the other kept with the actual time frame that was going on in the book. So I kind of did that, you know.
No wonder it took you 4 months to get this sorted.
Yes.
So I have got, there's a series I still haven't released. It's a sci-fi series I'm writing, and I've got, I think it's 7 Excel spreadsheets that include names of everything, when things happen. I created an entire military and their training program, just so I had background. It's the odd sentence here or there, but without that, it doesn't create the background. Have you ever done that with when you're writing, Jeanie? Have you done that big old background thing where, as you said, you got the notebooks where you've got all of this information in your notebooks, and then you go, right, cool, this entire notebook, I'm going to use one sentence from it. There we are, done. Yeah, it's that's 100%, 100% author thing. It's like you get rabbit holes.
Well,
rabbit
and not
holes.
just that, but rabbit holes. And then I try to actually experience the things sometimes that I'm writing about. So, for instance, when the Spiritualist, she went to a labyrinth and learned how to pray through a labyrinth. So I went to a labyrinth and learned, all those things. It just makes the experience in the book more realistic because you actually have the same sounds, feelings, emotions that go through that character's, part.
So you is one thing, pulling emotions. I did this in one of the books that I wrote. Character got an injury. It was a dislocated his sternum. Pretty brutal injury. I did that to myself. So the only reason it was in there was because I knew how that felt, so I could write from that. So you do similar things of like, if you have had the experience, you'll write it. If you haven't had the experience, you actually go out and find the experiences as well. Yes. Which then leads to a question, and I'm going to cut you, Jack, because this is a Jack question. What is the most harsh experience that you've put in a book that you've gone out and experienced?
It's a good one.
That's a Jack question.
Man, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Got you there. That one. That's why you need to remember to always delete your freaking search history, by the way.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Use incognito mode, and then it's a lot easier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're coming after me if they ever get a hold of my computer. FBI, CIA, they come and get me.
Oh my dear God! My security clearance with MI5 went through within an hour. They have a file on me. Like the security services actually have a file on me. I discovered it's worrying. But carry on. Sorry.
No, I really have no idea because there's been a lot of things that are atrocious in the books that I've written that I haven't experienced, but I've tried.
I mean, yeah. Some of those you probably wouldn't want to go out and do. Like, I say probably, definitely wouldn't want to go out and do. Yeah.
Yes, most definitely. Like the Killer on the Camino book, that one was all torture.
So you're telling me you've never stuck bamboo up someone's nails?
No.
Disgraceful. That's not enough research.
I'm sure she wanted to. I mean,
I have a list of people that I would love to try to torture with.
You probably have to chat to Lee for that. I'm pretty sure he's probably done it at some point.
Well, and he's
got a checkered past.
Yes, and honestly, if it's a kill situation, he's my go-to. Like,
he's been in,
and that's normally where it starts in my mind.
If you want a high body situation, hit me up. I freaked a few people out last night.
All right.
He has absolutely no fucks. Like, he will just destroy somebody. Now, let me ask you this, Jeanie. Does your notebook look anything like that when you write your notes? Just
yes.
Kind of like that. Read that last line.
James Bonds. I don't know what.
Javin Bond. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This notebook is very old. I first started doing this, and I was going to try to write a story with Javin being one of the main bad guys, and that's how far I got it. Is to like 2 pages.
Talking notebooks. These are fucking amazing things.
Throwing that up.
Oh yeah. See, I even have little things that are folded for each different book, and it goes bananas.
Oh, that's nice.
Right, this has everything in it. So, Jack, my writing's a little bit clearer than yours, apparently.
Yeah. Got the words on the page. Now
I got words you can read. It's got pictures. Oh my! Where are these? Sorry, I've just realised I have a bunch of story ideas. I even have pictures and everything. Like,
damn.
Yeah, I have.
Getting a little deep there, aren't you?
His notebook's fancy.
And maths as well.
Well, he's British. He's British posh, if I must be honest.
I'm not. I live in council housing, mate. Like, I am not. Yeah, right. I am. I'm kind of posh. My jacket is from Savile Row. None of you get how posh that is. It's a specific street in London where everyone in the 1800s got their clothing from, and if you had a jacket from Savile Row in the 80s or 90s, you'd made it. I just went to TK Maxx.
My husband would know it. My husband would have got it because he's all about British stuff. He loves British shows, British comedy. He's just all into that Brit stuff.
Right,
I mean, he leaves the TV on when he falls asleep, and I'll wake up to some British show on at 2:00 in the morning. And it's like, oh, okay. And I just roll over and go back to sleep.
All right, Aiden, I'm going to issue you a challenge.
A challenge, yes.
Send her something that is distinctly British, but it's not food. It's not something.
Not food. Yeah, because I was going to say food's very easy. Yeah.
Even if it's like a chip of marble out of something or whatever, get that to Kathy so she can give that to her husband for a birthday present.
He is so much into the British. It's just, I mean, you wouldn't believe it.
I have some Iron Age pottery sat around here somewhere that I could send you.
Because we just got back from Gatlinburg.
Sat right next to me, so I can do that.
We just got back from Gatlinburg, and we went to the knife store, and he got some European money from World War II.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they had some
giant banknotes.
So I bought him some because he's into a lot of that old military stuff too, and He loves it. I don't. Maybe he should have lived over
Let's just send you this.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look.
Unless I take it to the bank and actually get money from it. This is a foreign one.
See, I also have some money that's from Guatemala.
I've got money from all over the world. I've got Soviet money somewhere. I have a bizarre collection of money.
A friend of ours was from Guatemala, and my kids were studying about Guatemala, and he gave us some stuff for them to take to school while they were studying Guatemala. So, yeah.
Cool.
Well, I'm going to use this whole dip we just took off into other destinations versus the ones that we currently live in. If you could go anywhere in time to any specific place, where would you go, Jeanie?
Oh. Well, when I'm asked about time and specific places, I always go back to where I would go back in time to be with my mother. But so I'm going to go forward and say that I really want to do traveling, and I would really like to go to the national parks and that kind of stuff. So I would say instead of going back, I would go forward.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hanging off that, you being the writer, have you thought about doing a time travel book? Like
no, I haven't.
And why not?
I don't know yet. I have too many other things, circling around in the brain.
Got a lot of pots on the stove and they all boiling.
So exactly. I left at the completely incorrect moment. What time period was this?
She would like to go forward in time. And actually,
that's the correct answer. There is a correct answer, and that is it.
Okay, wait. Well, why is that the correct answer? Because to me, either one's the correct answer if you're going where you want to go.
So the further you go back in time, you think of all the things that we like, right? So we're book people. You want books. The further you go back in time, the less likely you are to have a book. So if you go forward in time, there'll be more books. So the logical answer, therefore, is go forward in time, more books. Go back in time, less books. Therefore, forward in time, correct answer.
Well, right now for me,
that's brilliant.
And you have less chance of messing something up on a timeline.
There's that.
Exactly.
There is that. Yeah, for me,
it would be go. To be honest, I'd rather someone went back and messed up our timeline because it's pretty messed up right now. Although that leads me to another question. Jack, carry on. But I do have another question.
I was just going to say, I want to go forward in time because I want to get to the end of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. Just throwing it out there. I can't stand it. Got to wait till May for the next one. But anyway,
so there was a bit in before I asked my question. There was a bit in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. The people were talking about that. It's a bit. So we were talking earlier about your book, Jeanie, with there's a scene that's quite difficult, and apparently there's one of those in Dungeon Crawler Carl. You come across that. So obviously Jeff Hayes has had to voice that, which then leads to, I will save my other question because it's a random question. So I'll ask you this. So Jeff Hayes has been voicing these books. Have you ever thought about audio?
Oh, she's got it.
And then from that, have you thought about how the person would feel voicing those moments? As I said, this thing that I brought up, that might be difficult. As you said, obviously writing it was difficult. How would you go about navigating that? Because I'm sure some people would like some words on how do you think you'd work that.
Yeah. I do have a couple of audios, and I do have some still in the works, but it's a very slow process for some reason on the audios. But I actually never thought about them having to voice the horse things that I'm writing. I guess because once I get past it, and I'm thinking once they got past it, they would understand, the meaning behind it. So I guess it would. I hadn't really thought that.
They've agreed to do the audio, so therefore,
because I would assume that they've read it first, to see if it's something that they could do.
Right.
I mean, just
Well, I
want
wouldn't
to,
just
but
assume.
could do.
I'd bloody hope.
I mean, like,
Maybe
So I'm very busy.
be
I
like
bloody hope they do
acting.
that.
Would be like
Yeah.
acting,
Yeah,
you
well, yeah.
know, get
Yeah.
into character and, you know,
Yeah.
be like, okay,
Create
I
the
have to do
separation.
this,
Yeah.
but, you know, okay, I'm not living it. I'm just interpreting. I'm
Mhm.
reading this, you know, so this is not real, you know.
And for the record, because I don't want to leave her out in this, Jen Amato, Jen Folk, she did the narration for at least Spiritualist, Voodoo,
Mhm.
and for
I
Zephra.
didn't realise she did narration.
Yeah.
She's got a
Yep.
cracking voice for it, to be fair. But
She did good. She did good.
Yeah,
And I mean,
she
I
still
want to
has the spirit. Yeah. Yep, I'm waiting on her to do book 2, and then I have 2 other books for her to do. It's just a very slow process.
all right.
And then
I've
um
got a bit of a rocky relationship with her, but I might actually have a chat to her about this. Actually,
I was gonna say we got to start bugging her, like poke,
yeah,
poke. Let's go.
yeah. If she does that, she may correct. So from this then leads like I've just got now 3 million questions in my head. So I'm a person who listens to a lot of podcasts. So one thing, I've listened to a few authors. There's one guy who voices his own. In fact, no, there's 2 of them that voice their own. But have you ever thought, well, considering we're online, we're talking to people know who you are, you're using your name and everything like that. Have you ever thought about releasing, if it's for advertising or clips, reading parts of your own book to use as either advertising material or just to show people?
All right, you son of a bitch. I was gonna go down that pipeline. If you don't get out of my
Yeah.
head right freaking now, I'm gonna call the guards and they're gonna escort you out unceremoniously.
See, Jack, this sheet of questions that we both have, I'm skipping ahead.
Yeah, scary how close our brains work. That's freaking me out.
That's really weird.
A forklift driver and a damn
I
archaeologist.
actually have thought about doing what you're discussing.
Well, the thing I was going to ask you to do that's along those lines is grab one of those books, any one of them, flip to a page, and read us a passage.
No.
Which is the perfect question straight afterwards. Straight afterwards. No, go for it. Also, I want to hear, well, if you know the page, you might not know the page, the one with me in. Go on, pick up that book and read us a paragraph.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness sake. Y'all are killing me.
You damn right we are. One cut at a time.
Jack, this isn't the first time Jack has asked someone to do this, and I think it's an amazing thing
I want it to be
for authors to do.
It's got to be a thing. I want this to be a thing.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Our brains are
a thing,
weirdly connected.
Dude, we're literally here to advertise authors and their books. We talk about the books. We tell a little bit about the books. Read us some of the damn books.
Get some of the words.
Kathy, are you unanimous with us in this?
I'm interested in hearing it because I mean I do read the back covers of books but I also look at the covers of them too. If if that cover piques my interest, I read the back cover, and then I try and read the first page or so of the first chapter.
Well, I'm going to take what you just said, and I'm going to turn that into, do you write your own blurbs, or do you have an editor?
I write my own
blurbs.
I do.
I respect
I'm just
you
going
for
to read
that.
you a little tiny clip.
Here we are. Let's go, people.
It is. Okay. Aiden, barely containing his excitement, turned to Jay. I'd love to show off my brand new submachine AEG and Golden Eagle Type 96 machine gun I just purchased. He said, his British accent adding a layer of sophistication to his weapons enthusiasm.
I mean, that is entirely accurate.
That
is entirely accurate. I'm still meaning to fix my AK this week. And where's that 1911? I'm sure I've got one around here. There we are. There's a 1911. There we are. There's a 1911.
But anyways,
he's gonna break out the NES laser gun from the old Nintendo here in a minute now.
I've got a Luger down there as well. I keep them inside an old computer because that's a sensible thing to do, apparently, in my brain anyway.
Well, this has been wonderful, but I really have to get going soon.
I was about to say, we are now rocking almost 100 or an hour, 115 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes in, and we could have probably sat here because, I mean, God bless, we all four love each other, and so we can sit here and talk all day, but the people don't want us to sit here and talk all day. So we're going to wrap this sucker
Correction, Jack. The people do want us to talk all day, but there are things that we have to do.
So we're going to do this like we always do this, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I need to find out where in the hell all of you people out there watching this ridiculousness can go find these awesome books, get in on the action, understand why we are hyping Jeanie so much, because hot damn, she's good at this. Let's start with you, Kathy. You got a thing going, and I'm assuming, because I'm going to try to post this and hit Gallatin and whatnot, you got your own thing going on from time to time. Where can everybody find you?
Facebook. They can either look it up by the Kathy Jo Lynn or Mama Lynn's. And it'll say Mama Lynn's Home Goods, and you'll see my emblem. It'll be a mason jar with the word salsa, jams, and chow chow with vegetables and stuff, because I do homemade jams, jellies, and salsa and pickles, and
they are pretty delicious.
And if I was in your country, I'd be buying a lot of them, but unfortunately, you can't do that overseas.
I ship anywhere.
Anywhere.
I'm gonna have to look at that. Like,
yeah, I ship anywhere, and it's all natural ingredients, no preservatives. I go to the farmers market when they're in season and buy my produce and like that. So I try and keep it as local as possible. So
Aiden, I'm just gonna tell you now, buddy. Mom swears by her hot salsa.
And my chow chow.
And the chow.
So,
and my salsa one.
People, you don't have to be in the US to get this awesome stuff.
The salsa won first, second, third prize at the Wilson County Fair. Chow chow won third. So
yeah,
it's ribbon winners.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I will be looking up that hot sauce because I like me some hot sauce. So Jack, who's next?
All right, that would be you, sir. You, sir. That would be you. That would be you up next on the podium. Go ahead and tell
you can find me at various places. I use my name. My name is hard to spell and incredibly rare.
Thankfully,
the only person with this name. I have 2 Facebook pages. I do maps and I also write. I unfortunately haven't updated my pages in a while. So you can find me on Amazon under my name to buy my lovely books. Or you can go to DriveThruRPG and buy one of my many hundreds of maps that I have published so far. And if you want some freelance maps, you can contact me through either of those pages and I'll see what I can do for you. I've done very many things, so there you go. You can find me. I will do art for you at quite a low price because I just enjoy doing it.
All right, Jeanie, first off, I'm going to get a little emotional here on this. I want to tell you straight up, I am so glad that I did the thing that I never do. And Kathy knows me. She knows I'm not a traveler. I don't go to things very often. It's just not a thing. But I am so thankful that I went to Javin's thing and got to meet you, because now you fast forward and here we are together. Today you're the guest, but for those that don't know, Jeanie is a co-host on this very show. She has been a co-host of mine for a while now. She has grown to being one of my most favorite people on the freaking planet. And trust me, that's a very small
group.
I love you to pieces, and I'm so proud of you. I am blown away by what you have done in what, I guess, in the span of a lifetime, what you've done really in a short amount of time. And
yeah, it's very short. Woman, it's very short. Yeah.
Good God, woman, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. But most importantly, so everybody else can figure out why I'm so fucking excited about that, tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, you can follow me on my Facebook page, Jeanie F. Lewis, or you can find me on Amazon. All of my books are through KU. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, they're free to read anytime you want to read them. And then I do have 2 audiobooks that are currently out and a few more being in the process of getting out there.
Well,
and I love you too, Jack.
She's just awesome. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this thing up. We're going to get up out of here. I might be just a little bit weepy behind these dark shades. I ain't saying, just saying. But for...
I'm wearing sunglasses, shouldn't I?
Poke you with a stick. For Kathy Jo Lynn, for Aiden Collier, and for the guest of the week, Jeanie Frederick freaking Lewis, I am Terror Jack Childress. This has been Shits and Giggles. We will catch you next week with another one of our co-hosts, Angel Ramon.